Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today is the start of the Gnut fusion, the Nut fusion, really whatever way you want to say it, that is the right way to say it. I think most people are going with Nut, whether that's the right way or the wrong way. I honestly think that is the right way. So the Nut fusion starts today. This is how we're going to go about getting this champion. So I have the fusion schedule right here. This is a plain, clean slate. If you don't want all the text that I'm about to show on it, just screenshot this, okay? I'll stand out of your way. It's gonna have a nice screenshot. Now, as far as the potions go, that's in the top corner. Obviously, that's not completely clean. And then this big note at the bottom that says Forge Pass and Raid Pass for more XP and silver. In case you didn't know, the Forge Pass does give you some boost to your experience and silver earned. Very worth it if you like the Forge Pass as it is, but especially in times like this. But besides the Forge Pass, there is a Raid Pass as well, which for some reason they don't sell in the actual shop in the Plarium Play client. But if you go into BlueStacks, which I'll leave a link down below, you can download BlueStacks, download Raid in BlueStacks, and you can come into the shop and get the actual Raid Pass. It gives you a little bit of a boost, I believe, into campaigns specifically. But if it's something you're interested in, you can do that. For whatever reason, they don't have it on the PC, only on BlueStacks or your mobile device. I'm not going to get it, but if it's something you're interested in, definitely check it out through BlueStacks. So as far as the actual fusion schedule goes, there's a few things that are super important to pay attention to. The first thing is you cannot miss any of these void rare champions, because as you can see, this little werewolf down here at the bottom, he's not available from any of the tournaments or any of the events whatsoever. So you need to get every single one of the 4 available void champions, unless of course you pull void shards and you get lucky enough to actually pull one, or unlucky enough, however you want to look at it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now these don't really start until the second week. The summon rush is kind of in the first week, but either way, you don't really have to be too worried about that until after the first week. So next Monday is when you really have to pay extra close attention to getting all of these. The reason why this is so important compared to the non-voids is because the non-voids, you can get one epic champion. So if you get this one epic from the summon rush this coming weekend, then you can miss essentially 4 of these rare champions. So if you're not going for the epic, then you need to make sure you get all of the other events. But if you are going for the epic, you can skip 4 of the events, whichever ones you may choose. Now for me, I'm not going to include this with the epic. I'm basically going to plan to go for everything. So I do have a breakdown, and here it is. The first thing is CVC. This is very important, honestly. You may not think it because it doesn't directly contribute to any of these events, but CVC is going to be lined up with the Spider Tournament, with Dungeon Diver, and Artifact Enhancement event. These 3 specifically are amazing for CVC. So honestly, don't start most of your farming until CVC. Artifact Enhancement. Forge a ton of stuff from the Forge, okay? Go ahead. If you've been waiting to do forging, this is the time to do it. It's not personal reward CVC, but you can still help your clan win. Go ahead, forge a bunch of stuff, get your silver going. Also, like the video while you're here and subscribe to the channel, but continue to sell everything that you don't like and then upgrade your pieces of gear. You're going to finish the Artifact Enhancement event pretty daggone easily. The next best part about that is Spider is incredibly amazing for points, okay? So we come down here to the objectives, go to Spider, and you can see that on stage 10 of Heart, 10 Spider's Den is 400. I'm going to do stage 9 with Mithrala plus Artak, and it's going to be 350 points per run. That's excellent, okay? 350 points per run, plus I'm going to be dipping into this champion training event. So I'm going to be dumping quite a bit of energy into Spider, getting my champions leveled in Spider while I do this. The Dungeon Diver event going to be worked on as well. So I'm going to be triple dipping, 3x points, baby. I love triple dipping right here, okay? So this will be the Spider Tournament section. Spider Duo. The box is kind of weird because Dungeon Diver starts like weird on Tuesday. Just be very mindful. This says it ends on Friday, but depending on your time zone, it may end on Friday, or it may end just before Friday, or it may end later. So just be mindful about that. Obviously, the time zones are very different, so it's up to you to check, hey, my event's going on for 4 days, and make sure you finish the stuff ideally before this portion, okay? Don't wait till the tail end of it to actually finish your stuff. So here we got the Spider Duo during CVC. Excellent time for good CVC points, upgrading your gear, the whole 9 yards. The next big thing to watch out for is going to be this Thursday and Friday. That's going to be the Dragon Duo time. We have the Dragon Duo, the Dragon Tournament starting on Thursday, also coinciding with the Dungeon Diver event, which looks like it's mostly on Thursday and then basically ends on Friday. So right after CVC finishes that next day, we're going to be going into some dragon farming, duo also to help finish out the champion training event, and then doing some classic arena alongside that. So make sure if you haven't finished Dungeon Divers already, you finish that up with the Dragon Tournament and the champion training tournament. Honestly, go ahead and finish it during this time if you haven't already. If you've done enough Spider, do enough Dragon, whatever's left at the end, just do some campaign, do whatever you want, do some extra Spider or Dragon duo content, whatever's best for your account. Now, after this first little block of the Dragon Tournament, we do have a little bit more overlap with a nice event right here to this Dungeon Diver. It's not going to overlap a ton, but definitely on this Saturday, possibly into this Sunday just a little bit, you can go ahead and pick up a little bit more points for this Dungeon Diver event right there. I'm not for sure if I'm going to leave this block here, but we will. We will leave it here, okay? So there we go. Once you finish that, that's going to bring up the end of week number 1. So week number 1, once you come to that Sunday, this is what you should be at going into the second week. Now this right here, this Dungeon Diver event, I did not include any rare from this event because this Dungeon Diver it has enough time going on. You can get that in the second week, okay? So basically 8 rares and 1 epic if you're going for the epic. If you're not, then obviously you don't need that, but you should be at 8 rares total at this moment in time. So going into the second week, we got really only one place where the champion training, Dungeon Divers, and a dungeon actually overlap, and that is right here. Technically, this dungeon actually overlaps a little bit further, so instead of just having the champion training the Ice Golem tournament, you can actually extend it up here to a little bit of time of the Dungeon Diver event, which is pretty cool. So that first day of Ice Golem, which is next Monday, that's when you want to jump in, drop a lot of energy, level up champions while you do your duo Ice Golem content, which for me is going to be Artak plus Elva. So do some duo Ice Golem content. You're going to finish at that Dungeon Diver event. You're going to finish at that champion training event. Hopefully, maybe better yet, get a nice little start on the champion training event. You're probably not going to finish it, but you have that little first day. Really start going hard on it then because you're triple dipping, which is amazing. I love triple dipping. And then after that, you have kind of just a double dip and then champion training and Ice Golem until that Wednesday. The Wednesday is going to be Dungeon Diver start, plus a little bit of champion training and Ice Golem. So you have 2 different days where you can get the Dungeon Diver, the first day, and basically the day before the end of the Ice Golem tournament, where you can get extra Dungeon Diver points alongside the champion training stuff. So at this point, we're going to have, finishing out the Dungeon Diver, 1 rare, 2 rares, 3 rares, 4 rares. And we have 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 more rares if you finish all these events, the most important ones being these voids inside this. You really need to focus on these, okay? These 4 voids in this little diagonal line here, super, super important, okay? A Dungeon Diver event, the champion training, the summon rush, and the champion trace. Very, very crucial, all right? After this Ice Golem tournament, really, your duo systems are really all gone at that point because Fire Knight, it's not great for duoing. You can duo Fire Knight on stage 25, I believe I did. So this right here, this little orange box at the very bottom, this is where you would be duoing Fire Knight if you were able to. So stage 25 Fire Knight, you can do it, I believe, with Allure plus Dark Kale. I forget if it's stage 25 or 24. Depends on the affinity. Whichever one there's strong affinity on, that's the one you're going to be doing. So stage 24, 25, normal, stage 25. Stage 25 normal. You can do it. I don't know if it's worth it. I mean, you're getting Dungeon Diver points plus just Fire Knight, so there's no champion training going alongside it. The very end of it is on Thursday, so it's not going to overlap anyways. To be honest, I'm probably just going to do a harder stage of Fire Knight. Go ahead, get some better gear, get some better rewards, maybe stage 6 hard, maybe stage 10 hard. I'm not for sure. But either way, Fire Knight, I'm not going to be doing any efficiency stuff there. So we're going to go ahead and delete that box. But at this point, you have quite a bit of efficient stuff in the very beginning. And the second week is going to be pretty relaxed. You're going to do Ice Golem then, finish up your events, try to hit that first day on Monday, and then again on Wednesday, really going hard on Ice Golem. On Tuesday, kind of taking a day off, work on the Artifact Enhancement event, and then finishing up your Classic Arena stuff, your Fire Knight tournament, and the Champion Chase tournament should be on 2x Sacreds, I believe. So if we do have 2x Sacreds during that week, which I'm not 100% sure, I think we're due for a 10x during this Summon Rush event. It should be 10x and then 2x Sacreds. So 2x Sacreds on Champion Chase kind of feels bad because Sacreds are not great for Champion Chase because they're worth the same as pulling an Epic from an Ancient Shard. So it is what it is. Champion Chases are usually better for like Ancient Shards on 2x especially, in my opinion. But there we go, guys. That is the fusion schedule that I have. Hopefully this can help out some of you. I had a few requests to provide the fusion breakdown, and here we go. So week 1, make sure you're at this. If you're not, you're probably a little bit behind, so you got to pick it up somewhere. And if you're going 8 rares or 1 epic, and if not, going for the epic, then you just need to make sure you have the next 8 rares after this. Obviously, as you're going through this, do not forget to go for these potions, right? These potions, super, super important. Make sure you're actually getting the potions. Make sure you're in a good situation to actually be able to, get these champions leveled up. So while you're going through the leveling stuff, like all these champions you have, you got to get them leveled up, taking a 4-star, level 40, fully ascended. So during these champion training events, level those champions if you can. Whenever you pick up one of the rares, put that into your farming team. Ascend it and then get it ranked up to 4-star. Get it to 40. Use those champions to level, especially in this champion training tournament right here. Use the rares you're collecting as the champions you're leveling in those events. That's going to be the best way to go about that, guys. So with that said, we got 2 weeks and 2 days to finish this event. Best of luck to everybody. Hopefully this breakdown helps you all out. Don't forget to like the video, drop a comment down below, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you all in the next one.